What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack here the new Out of Time team that has been confirmed by all the information that's been released by the content creators, but as well kind of what these characters are going to be entailing. But we got the confirmation here of Starbrand being the fifth and final member, in addition to the reworks happening to Captain Carter and Captain America. And as we suspected before, both Black Knight and Cosmic Ghost Rider are joining us in the game. So this is definitely an exciting time to see this brand new team, and it looks like their focus is going to be a war team. Now guys, having said that, I do not want to regurgitate all the information that's already circulated, because that's no fun for you as a viewer. But more importantly, I want to talk about how this big picture view of this new team is going to be impacting us from the game-wide different modes, and what you should and shouldn't be looking out for in terms of building these characters or team if you're deciding so. First and foremost, what I have on screen highlighted is actually the different uniques that are associated with each character and where their origin trait is, in addition to the teams or kind of where the value is right now. So as you can see, both Captain Carter and Captain America already exist in the game, being part of the Rebirth bio raid team. And as well, we have Black Knight now joining the Void here in terms of him actually adding value for mainly his team being the War, but he's also going to have a shout out and value into Arena. So it's going to be really interesting to unpack that, as you know, that obviously shapes up the meta and how we're going to be attacking strategically. If you're working towards being a top ranking Arena, this is definitely going to shake things up. And more importantly too, how this is going to be impacting your competitive nature, especially if you're planning to bring this team up collectively as a war team. As you can see here, the uniques actually aren't too bad, but keep in mind too, Starbrand having the astral energy is tied back to the same energy that Apocalypse utilizes. Miasma is what Cosmic Ghost Rider utilizes, which is the same as what characters like Hela, we have Robbie Reyes also using this. So definitely something to be mindful of. Dormammu, I believe, and as well as Dr. Doom. So all of them sharing that. This is definitely something they probably thought about. Maybe there might be a change in the future, like what we saw with alien spores getting echoed, that we need to change that out, but who knows. And then the one thing too, Black Knight's unique actually has not been confirmed just yet at the time of recording, so we do want to be paying attention to this. He does seem to be the most important member of this team, so he's definitely going to be the character we want to be focusing on and bringing up if you are interested in utilizing this team. And having said that, I love the fact that both Carter and as well as Captain America getting some much needed value when they're already kind of fading out of the bio rates, and as well that Dark Dimension is when I brought them into for the unlock here of Super Skrull. But great to see that they're actually getting additional love to reinvigorate them, so it's actually some added value, especially with Rebirth still being a required team to actually unlock Green Goblin. This is for sure going to help out, especially in those ongoing future trials when we do have the star rankings available in that new format, similar to how Scourge just got revamped. Guys, I want to spend a couple minutes here talking about Black Knight, because there's some really juicy details that's been circulated, especially the animation and going forward with how you actually utilize him. He can actually counter the best character in the game right now, being Super Skrull. So I did take a screenshot of his kit overall, as you can see, and it's really driven by his defense, the synergy with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and how he allows Skrull to get multiple turns in the very beginning. And really, Skrull essentially kills himself by all the counterattacks that Black Knight unleashes. So as you can see in Arena, while he has charges, this character's speed cannot be reduced. He's going to gain a whopping 50% HP. On defense, he's going to gain an additional 40. So right from the get-go, he almost doubles his HP on defense, right? He has additional armor. Now, mind you, he doesn't gain the war additional armor if you do have out-of-time allies, so we can ignore that. But huge uptake in resistance. And as well, when he has defense up, which it appears to be consistent throughout his entire kit, he's going to be gaining a 1,000% whopping increase in resistance. This is how he can not only withstand Super Skrull's attacks on the defensive side, but as well being able to counter attack him each time, and can actually take him down even with a beefed up Super Skrull fully upgraded. So any character that you have that can be a counter to the best tune in the game is going to instantly have value. Black Knight, for that reason, could very well be the second best character in the game on defense, if that is the case. Maybe even number one, depending on how you kind of want to put that up in terms of the ranking. But if you can counter the best tune in the game, For sure, this is 100% going to change not only the arena meta, where you're earning power cores ahead one of the most important resources in the game, especially when you're partaking in events, but as well the competitive war meta, when you're trying to ensure that you're efficient with your alliance attacks and trying to maximize points through those battles. And especially since we've seen some huge revamps coming to alliance in terms of gold output, but as well even diamonds now. So this is definitely going to be instantly adding value for a character like Black Knight, and that's why we need to be paying mindful attention to what his unique will be. It's definitely going to play a factor. I hope it doesn't conflict with some of the other important characters, but it doesn't surprise me because they always make us have to pick and choose which ones we want to build up. But for sure, Black Knight is going to be that gem here that's not even ranked as a legendary character. It'll be interesting if he gets that tag, but otherwise, for the time being, this is a character we need to be mindful of. He's going to absolutely change the meta that we see in the landscape that we have right now in the game. I also want to spend a couple minutes here talking about the Rebirth rework happening to both Captain America and Carter, because I've been preaching this over and over, and actually I made a video on this yesterday analyzing both Rebirth against the current Hivemind Battle Raid team. And for this reason, now that Captain America and Carter have gotten stat reworks, especially America getting a huge increase in his HP, their value right now in battle rates is just added right back, especially if you have a beefed up Rebirth team already with Super Skrull. I mean, most folks can already get through the 3 nodes with this team synergy, so making Carter and Captain America even better is going to make the raids even easier, which means it kind of diminishes the Hivemind value a little bit, because Hivemind is right now a one and done, one-trick pony, right? So unless you want to invest fully in 5 new characters for a team, you may not need to if you're already planning and already have a built-up Rebirth. And keep in mind, there's still a required team for going through the Green Goblin trials, and for that reason, many folks are going to be considering this. I would say the only exception is probably if you're a brand new player or mid-game transitioning end-game, where it may not make sense to build up a data team, but having Carter and Captain America getting those reworks is definitely huge. They've become stronger Dark Dimension 6 options now. I personally brought both of them in, no regrets whatsoever. They synergize with Apocalypse extremely well, and now they're even stronger, so it's pretty crazy. And then lastly, the icing on the cake is that with these reworks happening to both these characters, combined with the efforts in the newly added Out of Time team, they're going to be a top 2, top 3 defensive war team in the game. That is huge. We know that competitively, the war teams last longer in the game than raid teams. So by having that synergy, the ability to be able to pivot here instantly adds amazing value for both these characters that are iconic, but as well that are actually decent and strong in the game, especially seeing how powerful Black Knight and Cosmic Ghost Rider are. So guys, nothing but value across the board. I'm loving the way that they're approaching these reworks, because they're instantly adding back the invested value that we've already made, especially with this team being a very dated team since the early last year, right? So this is really huge. So guys, otherwise, I just want to spend a couple minutes also talking about the value, right? This team is going to be very similar to Secret Defenders in many ways, and not so much, right? More so the fact that they have value in many game modes. Anytime that you see a team that can be able to dabble in different game modes, having value like that, they're going to last much longer. Look at Secret Defenders, for example. They started off as an iconic arena team, but they had value in all game modes because of what they can bring to Cosmic Crucible, how strong they were in war, and heck, you can use a couple of them actually in the raid. So anytime you have a team that can actually, triple value in all these different game modes, you're going to be able to thrive in building these characters up and know that you're building up characters with good value. They have diverse uniques and with a really good mixture of origin trait, which makes it even easier. It's not like you're investing in 5 skill characters or 5 tech characters, 5 bio like what we're doing right now in raids. No, they're actually split across the board. You can pick and choose the ones that best suit your roster, but at the end of the day, they're going to be formulating a very well-grounded defense in war. But more than that, they're going to be able to pivot in really important game modes like Dark Dimension and Arena, especially the Black Knight nod there, being able to counter Super Skrull. Absolutely huge. We know that new is always better, and with this team, the stats are always going to be up to date and obviously revised better than the previous team. But like I said, I think the fact that this team can directly counter Super Skrull is going to be a very important thing to watch for, as how the meta is going to be shifting and pivoting here. We saw that very well with how Big Boy Apocalypse got countered quite easily in his original release, and although he's holding value right now, the fact that there's a character that can actually shut down Super Skrull is pretty big, guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think this is absolutely huge for the game. I love these kind of team additions into the game because of the fact that it can, you know, obviously change everything and how we perceive and how we approach a game. It really spices things up for sure, and especially given now we're in a pivotal time right before a new legendary character coming into the game as well, which typically happens in April or May. So something to be mindful of, guys, but exciting times for sure. Thank you as always. Do appreciate you following along. I'll keep you guys up to date, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.